I love the sound of a big V8 motor just hunking away on a camshaft that is way too big for it. You know what I'm talking about? The whole thing just going. It's amazing. It's such a beautiful sound. However, I don't have a vehicle that does that in my life. I have this truck which has a 5.0, which I could technically put a cam in, but it works as a truck, and I kind of need it to continue to be a truck. So here's my plan. I went to the junkyard, I asked them for a small block engine of some kind, and I said, give me your cheapest one. And this is what they gave me. So today's goal is just to make an engine run. Now step 2 and 3. Step 2 is making it look pretty and putting all the fun go fast parts in there. That's like my final stage for this next couple weeks. Long term, step 3 is put it in something. The last time I LS swapped a car, it took me 2 years, and I did it very fancily, and I'm not going to do that again. But I don't know. It's a project I don't want to do right now. I just want to hear the damn motor run. So let's get to it. Okay, I got the engine stand. I should probably bolt the flex plate on better. I'm gonna bolt this to that, and then I don't know. I'm gonna get it out. I could take the wheels off the truck, lay it on the ground. Seems like a lot of work. Children on the internet like to complain about LS motor builds or whatever because it's boring and because everybody's doing them. The reason everybody's doing them is because they're just too good. Like, I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, they work, they're cheap. I went on Amazon. Here's a bolt kit for bolting an LS to an engine stand, $9, shipped overnight. Like, I don't have to dig for the right bolts. I don't have to measure the thread pitch. It's just there. Flex plate bolts, like $9 too. You can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that. I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I don't think I'm going to use Loctite. No, I'm gonna use Loctite. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Loctite those flex plate bolts on just because I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I need a flex plate. So, yeah, the rear main seal is leaking. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna Loctite those. I'll have to do seals on this. I'm just gonna zip them on there so I could test it. Yeah, okay, so it's suspended from the ceiling in a very safe, engineered way. Yeah, I'm gonna move this before it falls, but it's never gonna fall. It's super secure and safe. Why would it fall? Whoa. Is that? What the fuck have I done? Oh God, this is bad. Fuck. I hate this. This is stressing me the fuck out. One notch at a time, baby. That's all it needs. One notch at a time, no sudden shocks. One notch at a time, baby. How do
you undo just a little?
So you put it near the top, but remember there's a cam up here that dumps it, so you just go up a little bit to release the tension on this one, and then drop it down one. Huh. You're right. Mobby. I think that's enough work for one day. Okay, day 2 of working on the motor. First thing actually is gonna be heat. It is, where's my temperature meter? It's that degrees, or about 3 Celsius. It's warmed up a little bit, but we need a heater. My digits are so cold. That's a number 2 Phillips, and I've only got a number 1 Phillips. But that's alright. How does that work? Should I read the instructions? Okay. Instructions de l'allumage fermé des saupages principal. What, that's French. Why is it in French? Why the fuck is it in French? Oh, there's 2. That's pretty effective. That puts out a considerable amount of heat. Hey, that's pretty good. I like that. I'm gonna open up a door. Okay, while we are waiting for some heat to get into the garage, let me show you what I got. This is all we need today. First thing I'm gonna put on is a starter. We need a starter to crank everything over so we can test it out. And then next, look at this beauty. This is a single plane carburetor manifold for an LS motor. It's kind of weird. The ports look like it's for a square port head, but it's not. They're cathedral port shaped, except they're missing the cutout for the fuel injector, which I suppose gives you a little bit of turbulence there. I suppose you could port it out, but it doesn't matter. I think this is a direct rip of a Holley manifold, so that'll do fine. I'll put the price list on the screen here. So we got starter, intake manifold, a bore scope. I'm gonna check everything out, just kind of give it a once over. And then spark plugs and wires. And I think the brain of the bunch, yep, an MSD ignition control box. I'm not going EFI on this. This is a carbureted situation, but there's still a lot of sensors that you need to read and have when you're going to be running. a motor that doesn't have a distributizer. So that's really the main big purchase here. And then of course I got carb studs. I forgot the most important part. I got an open box deal on a Edelbrock. This is an AVS2. It's a 650 CFM carburetor. It's just carburetor. There's no electronics. There's not even an electronic choke. It's just carburetor. I've never messed with a V8 carburetor before. It's my first non-motorcycle, non-small engine carb setup. So I'm excited. But there's a lot of things we've got to do before we could actually crank it up. So let's get to it. There's obviously a lot of work to be done on this motor. I mean, all the gaskets leak, they're very clear, but I don't think it matters for right now since I'm just going to get it fired up. But I don't even think I'm going to take the valve covers off. Because like, if I do that, I risk cracking a gasket, and then I'll have to put a new gasket on there and then replace the gasket anyway when I take the motor apart for cleaning. So yeah, we're just gonna send it. Put some stuff on there and fire it up. They use duct tape. Oh God, this is gonna be nasty. What the hell? There's only one valve down there. Where are the rest of my valves? I thought I bought a 32 valve North Star. Shit! No flex. It's on. Sometimes you gotta kind of twist these bitches a certain way, because if you roll them in, they're just gonna unroll. So you gotta preload them and then stick them in so they want to stay down. It's like here, there's no real load, but if I squeeze these in, they're gonna wanna pop out. So I try to do everything as neutral as possible, and then the last bit, pull it in with a twist. And that should stay in there better. Yeah. I'm seriously impressed with the casting and the hand finishing on this cheap ass manifold. Like, my carburetor has more flashing and undeburred spots than cheap ass Chinese intake. All right, they need no tightening at all. I'm just snugging these up. I like having a little impact gun. So you can just put it on number one, do a single click, and it, I don't know, that was probably 10 inch-pounds that put on these. All right, I'm gonna check for oil. I don't think there's oil. I'm gonna check for oil, put a new filter, fill it up, put a starter on there, and then put some spark plugs and wires. There's some oil. Is it full of oil? Shit. Hey, that was actually put on there correctly. Nice. Shit, 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 shit. I'm not gonna spill a drop. Look at that. My starter's going up here, but I want to, why am I leaking so much? Oh, okay, that was cleaning. I'm gonna clean off my reluctor wheel sensor. This is the crank sensor. Where's the other starter bolt hole? Is it just two? Was there only two starter? I thought there was three. Maybe I'm crazy. I think that starter will engage. I guess we'll see. You probably shouldn't use an impact wrench on that. No, I shouldn't. But I'ma fucking do it regardless. Huh? Those are pretty fucked up. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I mean, it's alright. It's alright. It's a truck motor. Yeah. I actually forgot. I want to take all these spark plugs out and crank this thing over until I get oil pressure. I don't have jumper cables. I don't know. I know I had some, and I know I melted a pair working on my boat, but I don't know. Let's just crank it over. Everything's clear. Clear back here. Whoa! That glowed. Maybe I should look up the wiring diagram on this. This is just saying to hook it up to ground my ground to the ground instead of not grounding it to the ground. So maybe I will try grounding it to the ground. So this shouldn't do anything. And okay. Q. Now, let's put some spark plugs in there. I'm sure that's enough cranking. I'll go a little more, but then computer time. All right, cool. We have a starter. The battery is probably dying, but whatever. MSD box. MSD box. I was reading over the instructions, and there is a lot you could do with this controller. Like you could hook up sensors to it, so it could pull timing, add timing, all that sorts of good stuff. But from the factory, they set it up so that if you give it a connection to both of the ignition coils, a crank sensor and a cam sensor, and of course power, it will just run. All it needs is crank and cam and a place to put your spark. That's it. Obviously, when I do this for real, I'll give it a map sensor and a coolant temperature sensor, but it says it doesn't even care about the manifold air pressure. It'll just spark. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook this up. There's a little dial where I could tell it if I have an LS1, LS2, 3, 6, and 7, or a truck. So I imagine this is the 4.8, the 5.3, and the 6.0, all tuned for low octane gas. So I'm just gonna stick it on that. That'll get me running. And then, yeah, we just send it. All right, so this says cam. I'm gonna clean the cam hole. So it just needs cam. That's a short wire. They have a longer harness. I think this will work for right now. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Keep my wires out of things. Before I forget, I'm gonna put a pin. Does that go through? Guess not. That's good enough. And this looks like a mess, but I mean, this is so nice. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this open. I don't really care. Now, as far as my power, I have to give this, it asks for a 30 amp fused power and then hook it directly to ground. What I am gonna do, see this thing, this probably wants ground. The engine wants ground, but I guess I have to give it ground because all my sensors are coming from that. So, okay. I'm gonna hook up ground to this head, and then I'll hook ground to ground. See, I don't think I need battery ground. I definitely need sensor ground. Let me find a bolt. What size is that? M8, maybe M10. Everybody's in the same hole. 3 things in one hole. Call that a triple bypass surgery. I guess I do have to ground the ground to the ground. I don't know how to do that. I'll be right back. I'll find something. I'll need something conjumper. Ground clamp. 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 That ground is ass. Okay, I've got everything wired up. I've got ether, I've got power, ground, I've got I think everything's wired up. I'm gonna hit it with a shot of ether and just see what it does. We have smoke. My eyes are burning. Okay. How much ether does this bitch want? God damn! That bitch cranks! She's turning over. Yeah, that is caustic. That's that ether, baby. All right, you ready? That sheared my bolt clean off. God, that just sheared it. Holy shit. She's got some torque. Okay. All right. I got a lot to do to make that less sketchy. It sheared that bolt clean. Neat.
Where's your magnet?
Yeah, I need to get that out of there. That fucking rips.
Yeah. This is pretty damn loud.
Seriously, it took 2 seconds. It needs 2 sensors and that's it. Crank and cam, spark output, ground. That's it. That is such an easy setup. That's fucking sick. Like, first try. That doesn't happen, it just...
Sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Loud as fuck.
Loud as fuck. All right, it's a new day. And I want to start this thing up for real this time. Not just squirting ether in there. I want to put the carb on. I got some less sketchy battery cables. Oh, and also maybe let's put a pin in there that won't shear immediately once it cranks up. Cool. But first, I think you have to deburr your own Edelbrock carburetors these days. That's wacky how that Chinese intake manifold had better deburring than this American-made Edelbrock. What the hell? These are some egregious burrs. I'm gonna get rid of my grounding cable as a ground, even though the ground cable makes an excellent ground. All right, here's my plan for the positive lead. So I need to have power going to the ignition box and power going to the starter. And I think that's it. But this needs to be fused. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crimp on some leads. Where the fuck? We have power. We have fused power. Now, all I need to do is hook up this to my starter. And then once I bridge this gap again, I will have start. I'm just gonna use a wrench. There's no point in setting this all up fancy. My first question is, will these carb studs fit? I don't have high hopes. They're just generic carb studs. And this manifold is from China. And that thread pitch looks wrong. But it's right. Wow. Got quarter 20. I assume that's quarter 20 on a Chinese manifold. Will the studs work? They're pretty damn tall. Nah, we got clearance. Those are long as hell, but whatever. I think all I need now is gasoline. I have a ring light and a test tank. Need to get this above my carbonator. Get some fuel. I'll be all right. Yeah. I almost forgot. I had to do something about that sheared off bolt in there. Just gonna go right here. Am I gonna drill a pilot hole? No. Is this the right size drill? No, it might be a little small. But I assume it's gonna get wallered out when I drill it, so. Go, oh wait. That was a W drill. What is slightly larger than a W? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, W, X. I need an X drill. What am I doing? Oh, pin. You fuckers lied to me. The next size up is a 13/32. I don't have a drill chart. You would think I would own a drill chart, but I don't. Let's see. Yeah. About, I don't know, less than a degree of movement. I'm gonna go ahead and twist it this way. Preload the pin. It's in there. I can't think of anything that needs to be done. Is that choke supposed to be choked? Should that not stay on? I don't know. probably should be. I'll leave it on. I'm just gonna put gas in it and start it. All right, I have an extremely high hope for this working. The only unknown thing right now is that carburetor. And it's just an out-of-the-box Edelbrock. I trust that. I should have probably checked, see if it was going to piss gas before I put a bunch of gas in here. We got some ethanol-free 91 octane. Ethanol is never touching this baby. I'm going to move my gasoline far away. I kind of want to see gas before I... Okay, the gas is above the level. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know where the... I don't know. I don't know where the float is. I don't know where anything is. I'm just gonna put the choke on and crank it. That's what I got. Let me check the battery here. We've got ground, we've got ground, we've got power. Now we have MSD power. I'm just gonna crank it. Hey! That was something. Should I put the choke back on? I don't know why it died, but holy shit! That is so fucking loud. It feels like I have a misfire. I don't know if I'd have to check all these coils one by one. But dude! Ah! I'm gonna go one more time. I got gas. I don't really know what it wants. Maybe a little throttle. Where's the throttle stop? Give it a turn of throttle. Okay. Where's my starter? Where's my starter? It's not happy about something. Dude. It obviously is not firing on one or more cylinders, but yeah, okay. It's cold, so I feel like I have quite a bit of time before things start heating up, but I hate that there's no water in the block. It feels like pig rich to me, but it just runs. That's crazy. It's not super happy, but I mean, shit. It's getting a little heat in there. I really want to get this thing running and tuned. And the only way for me to do that is put headers and a water pump and a radiator. So I'm just gonna, my next project for this is wait. Look what just came in the mail. I lied. It's a smaller box inside of a bigger. Okay. Since this kind of idled like shit, I'm gonna try resetting these screws. I mean, it's a used carb. They should be factory, but I just want to double check. I can't find what the factory setting is supposed to be, so I don't know, let's just check. So we got half. Is that seriously it? It was a half? It was like 3/4. Okay, this one is. And that one was bottomed out. What the, that's not right. Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do a single turnout on both these because I don't know the factory setting. So I've got half, one, half, two, I'm gonna go another quarter. Quad. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but that should be better than 0 and 3/4 of a turn. All right. MSD is powered. I've got my starter. This should, in theory, be happier. Let's choke. Dude. I don't hear any more dogs barking outside. Dude. That idle's so fucking good. Dude! Did you hear that?
It's like shaking the house.
God damn. Hell, dude. Look at this. Look at this. I don't want the neighbors looking at this. Okay. It idles perfectly. Okay. Now I'm happy with it. Now I can call that end of part 1. I got water pump, radiator, everything to make this a complete package. Like, it's coming. I'm getting there.